they start talking about Gretchen's financials. And I really I was like, thank you, Emily. I was like, when Emily asked Gretchen about getting married and she goes, I would love to. And it's like, well, so why not, Gretchen?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? And again, I am not necessarily pro, like, you have to get married, but it is the hypocrisy that she keeps trying to sell us about herself.
Heather, by the way, never bought it. That helicopter stupid proposal on the rooftop, Gretchen to Slade, that was her send-off from the series. Do you remember he presents her with a Rolls Royce that he borrowed for the afternoon from the dealer, and he has it come around with the bow. That season, they were just grasping at straws. So when she's dancing around, we don't need to be married and this and that. And then there's like, it's because of the finances, right? Like with everything. So this is where Heather says, he's all caught up. He has that all fixed, right? And Gretchen changes it and goes, well, we don't really need to get married. She wouldn't answer, but we know he never paid that child support.
No.
We gonna stir it up and do things our way. So if you wanna move, get out of our way.
Hey.
Right. Happy OC Monday. I'm gonna write this week.
What if we damaged the ratings by accidentally giving out the wrong day?
What is time?
Yeah.
I think we asked that question a lot about 5 years ago, and we still are asking it today. So what is time?
Yeah, look, we're talking about Real Housewives of Orange County here, and the time goes, we have Gretchen living in 2009. We flash forward. Yes. The lines, as Little Edie said in Grey Gardens, it's hard to maintain the line between the past and the present.
Yep. Yeah. Oh man, the poet laureate of Long Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
Well, we are here today for RHOC.
Mm-hmm.
And what would help us get to that penthouse? Heather's penthouse in the sky. Just make sure to click subscribe.
Please, please, please. Because we would really enjoy, a night butler, pizza delivered, and having a morning brunch prepared by how many chefs? Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
Yeah,
that was amazing. And I want twinkle lights around my bed. Hello, Emily was saying that she felt like a bad mother, and I go, no, you are not a bad mother. You are a great mother for what you did, because these are the sleepovers that you're supposed to have in your 40s. That's what I'm saying. So that's, actually, this is a whole new business venture that Heather Dubrow could go into if she really wanted to.
I kind of felt like it was an episode of Below Deck with the staff and the setup and everything. Heather could...
Again, another television idea, business idea of, exactly. It's upstairs, downstairs. It's Downton Abbey, but in the century.
Yeah. And her guests are downstairs people too, because I'm sorry, you could tell they were a little dazzled.
This is true. This is true. Really. Although we're not throwing stones, because we would be dazzled as well.
Yeah. I'm trying everything. I poured my whole heart and soul into getting in there and up there. So unrequited love. But I guess we should start at the beginning.
Yeah. I think we should talk about Tamra's unrequited love, like the unrequited love that she's getting from Shannon, no matter how hard she tries. Shannon's just not going to give it to her.
Who called it? And they were like, Tamra's like a guy hitting on a girl who doesn't...
Well, the thing is, I technically called it last week when I was like, it's that whole thing. And then Jen said it. She's like, she's trying so hard, but it's the guy who's just hitting on the girl, and the girl is not having it. Yeah. And that was the next morning at breakfast when Shannon's trying to cook. And I totally give Shannon, like, when I'm on a mission, like, I don't want to fuck up my cooking. Like, no, I got to make sure I get it right. Because, I don't want to mess it up. So
I wonder if that breakfast thing had some kind of endorsement deal built in that didn't make it to camera. Why did she schlep that suitcase. She brought a separate suitcase filled with cooking ware and stuff, and then she's cooking and being very intense about it. I wonder if she's like trying to get a cooking, like a cookbook, or remember she had that Shannon Beador
Yeah.
QVC. It just seemed out of nowhere. Now that I think, because when was it Emily said she's like Shane, very intense with the project she's working on, don't distract her. I felt like she was trying to sell us something.
I mean, maybe, except for unless they like really sneakily like cut out what she was saying. But I also, okay, so when they're at dinner, the wine dinner, you know, and Gina is explaining why she's concerned about Shannon's drinking, but then she comes at Tamra and was like, but excuse me, don't throw me under the bus, because we were talking about this because I was saying to you how I didn't like that how you were like, had gone after Shannon so hard last year and now would like sneaking off to get drinks with her. And then Tamra's excuse was that like getting a cocktail with Shannon is Shannon's love language. So maybe in that vein, maybe, you know, cooking for people is kind of Shannon's love language.
Yeah.
Because we have seen her cook before. Like she enjoys like kind of doing that thing. Like she's not Heather in that sense of like, well, I'll just cater everything. Like she'll cook for people. She's like, come over, I'll cook for you. Like we'll do this. Like she likes to make that her, well, at least since she and David, you know, got divorced. That's
She has all those plates in the kitchen. All
exactly.
those plates, stacks and stacks.
Stacks and stacks of plates. So yeah. But when Tamra said that that's Shannon's love language, I was like, but this is again where I totally disagree with you, Tamra, because if you're a real friend who's truly concerned about Shannon's drinking, you're going to try to find new ways to connect with her and be honest with Shannon about it. Like you're not going to say, you could be like, well, let's go off and let's go get a sparkling water, or let's go off and like, let's go get a mani-pedi, because let's not put it around. Let's change the way our relationship works. Because it used to be around drinking, and I don't want us to like butt heads about drinking anymore. So let's make it about something else. But that's not what she's doing.
But the thing with that is, as we see later with the tension, Tamra can't address the drinking with Shannon.
No.
So, I mean, she can't say, let's shift away from drinking, because Shannon will be like, are you saying I have a problem? I'm happier than ever. Like that's, so I mean, I put more of that on Shannon. It's her responsibility to keep herself sober. But
I think it goes both ways with them, because I think it's just like a wound that both of them have. Whereas like if it's Gina who says, hey, Shannon, why don't we go get mani-pedis as opposed to going to the bar? Or if Emily did that, or if Heather did that, Shannon would be fine with that, because she feels that is coming from a good place from those people. But she doesn't feel like it's coming from a good place from Tamra, whether it is or not. So it's like other things have to heal before that can happen.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, but I also think there's other stuff there.
Yeah. I mean, the way Tamra put it is, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't.
Yes, like, she is.
But
she's
I mean,
throwing herself a pity party. They both throw themselves pity parties.
I had to say, Tamra, there's a lot of history. So, I mean, everyone's being cautious with her.
Right. Well, and Tamra just wants to, also another thing, it just feels like Tamra just wants to feel better about herself. Like, Shannon, do you forgive me now? Can I feel better about myself about being an asshole last season? You know, Shannon, can we be okay so I can feel better about myself? So Jen, can you be okay so I can feel better about myself? Like that, it's not really about repairing these relationships, in my opinion.
This trip is an apology to her. Look at how they divided it up. Obviously, Gretchen is a whole separate issue. She sent her up to Century with Heather, but the other one, she basically took this group of women she has issues with and was like, I'm gonna wine and dine you.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Well, let's go back up to Beverly Hills, someplace we were just like way more comfortable.
Yeah. Although I was a little shocked by it. Heather opening up about her past, her childhood.
I know.
Fancy pants. The picture of...
Maybe, is she in therapy and we don't know?
I mean, that really surprised me. But I mean, to say, so she opens up obviously about her relationship with her dad. And I have to say, I I was prepared for something else when she first said it and started going into that's what me and my sister, and I was like, but no, it was just he had anger issues. I thought it was going to be like,
Oh, dark.
yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I was about
Yeah.
to be like, I was like, no, but it was it would. I'm not to make light of it, but that it was his anger issues and stuff, things like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of glad like now we're getting to know a little bit more about Heather and like understand, but because then I go, well, then that makes sense. Yeah. That you kind of want to like make sure that everything is okay all the time.
Mhm.
Not necessarily in a pacifying way, but it just makes you understand that better. Cause I know people who are like that. And then I also know that myself, I wouldn't say, well, I'm not going to go into that, but this is not about me. But I also understand those times when there are certain people who just kind of make you freeze, even though you're like, I had these very strong feelings and I would love to say these things to them. You go, I don't have it in me right now.
Yeah.
Because they remind you so much of somebody else in your life or in your past. So I get it.
When she opened up about that, it immediately flashed back to honestly one of my favorite scenes ever in Housewives, but Heather's too, and it explains so much about early season when Shannon comes over and to talk about David, and Heather is like, "We're done. I'm asking you to leave. Please leave." That her reaction was to the chaos that Shannon brought into her home in that scene. And I was like, that's why. Because honestly, I wish there wasn't that factor, because I just like to think she was stone cold. You are dismissed, Beador. There's the door. But it turns out it was because you remember. And that's with Shannon a lot, though. Like, I mean, there's a lot of, she's fragile. She's unstable at times.
Yeah. No, I think that it does show us why Heather reacts to Shannon in a certain way, because Shannon and Tamra are different yet similar. They come with like a lot of big energy, but from different places. Like, and like Shannon's is more frenetic and needy and all that stuff, whereas Tamra's is more angered and fiery and focused. So like now you kind of get it. I mean, you understand why Heather's more of a pacifier out of like survivor instinct. And you know, to her credit, Gretchen also calls out the psychology of it too, of like how you can sometimes attract those people or be attracted to those people because you're trying to heal that relationship from the past. So yeah, that's interesting. Oh, yeah. Imagine that we got deep before, you know, everything else.
They're upsetting me. I don't like these feelings.
Jordan doesn't like to feel unless it's like happiness or feeling rich.
Yeah, those are my two preferred.
Or feeling thin. Sorry, third.
Can never be too thin, too rich, no. Where did they went afterwards to the Abbey, which
they did go to the
I have
Abbey.
to say was Gretchen had a good time.
She did. She had a very good time.
I did not expect her to be so open to that, but
I did because Gretchen is a hypocrite.
Yeah.
In so many ways in her life. Like
unwed, living a child out of wedlock, if we want to get into the technicalities of her situation.
Well, also like she's always played like, even from the beginning, like played like the good sexy girl of like, oh, I'm a good girl, but like, no, I'm gonna go do Pussycat Dolls, which I'd completely forgot until they showed that clip. But like always being like very sexy, but you know, it's the whole like Madonna whore type of thing. You know, like that's what she always kind of plays. So she's always just hypocritical. Like, you know, she never is really, in my opinion, truly comfortable in her own skin. she never wants to admit who she really is.
Yeah.
And so we don't really know who she is because I don't know which person she really is.
Because
I mean, I think it's more of the fun Gretchen.
like the
Who
way
she really is.
the way they've said it is like the whole idea behind Naked Wasted was to show people who she is when she's drunk, because she, as we saw tonight, is she going to accuse Heather of anything? No.
Right?
We see she's a completely different person. Fun, you know, she's on the stripper pole and stuff. So,
well, last time I was at the app, my friend was like, it was so dead, but it was already dark. Like, what's going on? I was like, well, it was kind of like, it was back in the spring. I don't think like the time had changed yet. I was like, also the Abbey doesn't get going. They were there early because the Abbey doesn't get going until like after 10 o'clock. The last time I was at the Abbey, I was actually there with another housewife. I was there with Ashley Darby from Potomac.
Was she drinking a Corona?
She was.
Shut up.
No, I'm not joking with you.
That would have to be in the picture. I just mean that is who.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
And Ashley Darby, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So beautiful. Oh my God.
Oh, I do have an app for you guys. If you're in LA or just love Kathy Hilton so much, you're going to travel across the country. But speaking of the Abbey, this Thursday, September 25th, you can go online and check. She is hosting a charity toy drive for Children's Hospital Los Angeles at the Abbey. That's Thursday the 25th. And you can come, bring a wrapped. I don't know if it's wrapped. Don't quote me on the wrapped, maybe unwrapped. I don't know. Bring a toy for the kids and you can meet Kathy.
We should put a link on our IG and stuff like that. Like put it in our stories. So we'll put it in our stories about it. But yeah, if you're in Southern California or if you feel like taking a nice little September venture out to Los Angeles.
You get Kathy. You get a double. You get Kathy and you also get Heather. I don't know if she'll be it, but this week's episode was there. I don't know if Kathy will get on the stripper pole the way those other three, but
I seriously doubt it. Maybe she might stand next to a stripper pole. That might be the closest that you get to it. She'll hold her purse like the Queen of England and stand next to a stripper pole.
I thought it was a marble column.
Well, okay, going back to the stripper pole, you know, and then Gretchen's all like talking all proud about how she like once kicked a stripper off a pole in New Orleans, and I was like, you took money away from that woman. Stop it.
True.
It's like, that's not women supporting women. Like, don't take, like, you took money away from that woman. Like, she was there trying to make her living. Like, don't take money away from her. We do not do that. And I also appreciated Emily saying, like, I like drunk Gretchen over praying content making Gretchen.
You could see, I didn't know. Emily seems, it's like a love-hate with Gretchen. Yeah. On one hand, it's like, I feel like they have a lot in common, but on the other hand, she sees those things. It was like, what was that thing? Gretchers. Like, a nickname shouldn't be the same length as the full name. Gretchen. I don't know. She was just like, they were drunk and it was like a pet name for her. But I was like, oh, so they like each other. And then cut to the confessionals. And she's like, at one point calls her Tamra with more filters. I mean.
Yes. When Gretchen was like, I had 4 songs, I was like, really? I was like, oh my God. I was like, ugh. Okay, this whole thing about her, like Gretchen mentioning that Tamra tried to sing and that she apparently, the rumor that she fucked and they blank out his name. So like I was online and this was a rumor from back in 2017. This is a rumor that was an All About the Tea back in 2017 that Tamra gave a secret blowjob to Jeff Timmons of 98 Degrees. And that's what it was.
That's pretty pathetic.
Really?
She's more famous than he is at this point.
I
At least
mean,
aim for Nick Lachey.
what, right? Because at least Nick Lachey's got a couple of TV shows on Netflix and a marriage. I mean, I don't know Jeff Timmons like.
When you said that, I didn't know who it was. Like, I was like,
it took me a minute. Like when I saw it, I was like, why do I know that name? And I was like, what is that name? And then I was like, oh, it's 98 Degrees. That's right. And it took a minute, but I was just like, this is something that's so old. This is 8 years old. It was 8 years old, and back then apparently Tamra was blaming it on Vicky, that Vicky had leaked this story. But when they, I mean, I love it when they're back in Heather's place, and Heather's like asks, like, want to talk shit about people. I was like, thank you, Heather. Like, yes, hello. That's like the best part. But when it comes back to like, oh, the Tamra song, and this is where Gretchen again is a bad liar, and she's a liar. Like she's like, someone sent it to Slade, and then they call Slade. And I was like, of course Slade has it, because all roads lead back to Slade when it comes to Gretchen. All roads lead back to Slade. And basically, like, and then he's like, no, I don't have it, but I heard it. Da da da. But I'm really tired already of Gretchen's now back, and that the past things that happened years ago on this show that happened off camera are the crux of today's drama. Because that's what's going to happen next episode. We can already see it. Like, and these things are like, they all happen off camera. So like, is this going to turn into New Jersey? We're like, because that's what happened with New Jersey. All this stuff between Melissa and Teresa happened off camera.
yeah.
And then they brought it to the show, and it just became toxic and turned the show. Like, Slade is ruining Gretchen's return, in my opinion. Like, I think Gretchen returning could be a good thing, but Slade, he needs to be in it. He has to. He got his own fucking confessional.
Yeah. That was when his face popped up. He loves this, I think, as much, if not more, than her.
Yeah.
I mean, when Emily called it, Slade salivates. All he can talk about is Tamara. Matt Janella has said that. All he can talk about is plotting the show and Tamara. And that's where I was like, Gretchen's a terrible liar, like you said, because she goes, oh, don't repeat it. I didn't mean for him to say that. I just wanted him to play you the song. The fact that he was on call waiting for the FaceTime, as we know from New Orleans with Katie and I doesn't call it Hospital Gate, Naked Wasted. Slade and Gretchen co-produce every scene that Gretchen is in. He keeps tabs on her, whether it's through producers or text message. She absolutely knew what she was about to drop.
Also, like, Slade saying, I'm not interested in sharing dirt on Tamra, but I'm interested in telling the truth. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
We all know it's bullshit.
Yeah.
We know it's such bullshit. But and with Gretchen saying, like, drunk that night, no, you can't go back to Tamra and tell her about this. Like I was like, what? Why don't you stand on business, Gretchen? Why don't you stand on business? Like, if you're going to say these things on camera, why don't you stand on business?
Yeah.
And I love Heather was like, too late. Like, but this is what, like, I don't care. Like, I feel like I'm jumping ahead, but I don't really care, because the next day she's like going so hard of like, don't tell. And I'm like, wait a minute. I bet you $1 million that this is what happened at Mastro's with Katie and Jen.
Oh, do you think she was drunk when she told Katie? And
I think she was. I think they were drunk, and they'd all had too many espresso martinis there at Mastro's, or martinis or whatever, and they said, like, probably Gretchen said this, and Slade like confirmed it or whatever, was like this whole thing, and they were like, oh my gosh, and not thinking that Katie would say it to somebody else. And so now that it basically, Gretchen has loose lips when she's drunk is what happens. And she makes up shit. or she brings up shit that like comes back around or whatever it is, because this hatred, because basically there's a broken record playing at her house, and it's of Slade's hatred for Tamra going over and over and over again. And so I bet this is and Gretchen is afraid of history repeating itself, because now this directly implicates Gretchen saying this stuff about Tamra.
Gretchen
that may or may not be true.
Yeah, with Mastros, with things like that, that was all off camera. This Gretchen said it in front of the Housewives, in front of the cameras. This can't be. This isn't be a reunion moment.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I think we already seen like they're having dinner next week, and like looks like Tamra just goes off on her. But this is what happened. So this is where I go. This Gretchen's just you're such a fucking liar, Camille. Like, you're such a fucking liar, Gretchen.
Gretchen thinks she's Camille. She thinks she has this way of appearing innocent while being, sorry. You need to take a few more classes at the grammar school. Passive aggressive.
She needs to read The Art of War. So come on.
Did you think they were having a good time at this sleepover? I felt like it was. So. I felt like it was a little forced. It was like the pillow fight and the oh my god, like they're like back in the sorority house. It was a little like.
I feel that Gretchen was definitely forcing that, and Gretchen's the kind of like drunk that I just do not enjoy, where she like kind of takes it to that point of like when that pillow fight was happening. I was with Heather. I was like, you do not put pillows on the ground. I'm sorry. That's gross. Yeah. That's just gross. Like, yeah. I do not, when I'm remaking my bed, I've got a chair that they go on, like, or I put them in the laundry basket. I'm one of those people, like, there is a dirty laundry basket and there is a clean laundry basket. Like, the twain shall never mix. Mm-hmm. Like, do not put your pillows on the fucking floor. Like, no, she's like forcing it. Like, when she was like, I can't find my phone. Yeah. It's the damsel in distress bullshit.
And she lapses into this like baby voice. Like, I'm so silly. Oh my God. That's why I asked. I was like,
a silly girl.
I was like, it was a little bit much.
So much. I can't stand it. Can't stand it. Well, let's go back to
Temecula.
The next, Temecula. We've kind of already talked about Shannon trying to cook and being annoyed by Tamra.
Yeah, so. But we kind of skipped over the pool scene though, where they're lighting the joint, and they tell Shannon. Yeah. They do tell Shannon, like, except like you said, she takes it better from Gina than Tamra.
Yeah, I think she'll take it better from anybody but Tamra.
Yeah.
Yeah. She'll take it better from anybody but Tamra. So I think she'd even take it better from Vicky. So
yeah,
it's like no, yeah. But the next morning, they're cooking and
something what we were just talking about with the whole Gretchen thing, and her telling the women back it up, don't repeat it while they're getting their massages. Heather said it jokingly, but I was like, no, what you just said was the truth. She goes, Slade is your henchman.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah. She's laughing and she goes, Slade is your, she's like, I didn't mean for Slade to say that. And Heather with her face down getting the massage, they all are, is like, hi, he's your henchman.
Oh my God.
And I was like, yeah, because that's how I felt, co-produced. It was all intentional, but on both, between the two, Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh, completely. I mean, I don't want people to think that I'm like, oh, Gretchen's innocent in this and this is all evil Slade. No, they are a duo. Yeah. This is they are tag teaming this shit. But we actually skipped over their brunch when they're talking. Terry comes home and I love it. Terry grows on me more and more. He annoys me, but he grows on me. And Heather and Terry's marriage has grown on me as well. I'm all about sleeping in separate bedrooms. If they snore, I can't. I can't do it. No, absolutely not. Also, if they're too hot, I'm like, no, I need a cool side of the bed to move.
I thought you meant attractive. Like,
oh no, I mean like literally temperature hot. Like some men and most men just run temperature hot, and you're just like, oh my, get away from me. Like, ugh, I need a cool side. Anyway. But with him there, they start talking about Gretchen's financials. And I really like, I was like, thank you, Emily. I was like, when Emily asked Gretchen about getting married, and she goes, I would love to. And it's like, well, so why not, Gretchen? Why not? And again, I am not necessarily pro, like, you have to get married. I'm not going to say that you have to get married to have kids, that you have to get married, period. Like, no, like, not necessarily. But it is the hypocrisy that she keeps trying to sell us about herself. Did
you catch this part where Heather says, well, Heather, by the way, never bought it. That was that helicopter stupid proposal on the rooftop, Gretchen to Slade. That was her send off from the series.
Yeah.
That was their final scene. And that season,
I was so happy that it was.
Yeah. Do you remember he presents her with a Rolls Royce that he borrowed for the afternoon from the dealer, and he has it come around with the bow. That season, they were just grasping at straws.
Yeah.
And
it was so gross.
And so she's giving us so when she's dancing around, we don't need to be married and this and that. And then there's like, it's because of the finances, right? Like with everything. So this is where Heather says, he's all caught up. He has that all fixed, right? And Gretchen changes it and goes, well, we don't really need to get married. She wouldn't answer, but we know he never paid that child support.
No, he never did. Yeah. Never paid his child support. Sounds like he never paid for
anything.
His poor son. Like, and anyway, I'm not going to get all involved in. I haven't read up on all of it, but it just really sounds.
Yeah, terrible. No, she's tried sidestepping that. And that's exactly where Heather was going with it. He hasn't.
Well, and her thing was like, it was like, oh, well, that she was really worried about financials back then, but but they're not figured out now. But now she's fine. She's fine. And they did a ceremony, but with an ordained pastor. But they don't need a piece of paper because in the eyes of God, they're married. But you're not married,
right?
Like, because other people would say, because you would make a point if somebody that you didn't like did something, you're just a huge hypocrite. And the fact that like all of their financials are separate, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. Again, I'm just saying that she's a hypocrite because she's trying to push out this whole like Polly Pocket perfect family when they are not. When she pays for everything, like I had a lease on a home that was in my name, and I made my boyfriend pay me rent. I don't give a shit. Like, no, like you're not living here for free. So why are you like even sidestepping it? Like, why are you being like this whole like, no, he doesn't pay me rent. Why isn't that man paying you rent? Well, or like, why don't you say people who don't have anything to hide don't hide it?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't. She could say he's the caretaker. He's the stay-at-home father. But she knows, she said in the after show, she got nervous. Their ulterior motives, like being on this show and being asked about your relationship and finances is something she's never heard of before.
Right.
Oh, this proved a point we made episodes ago, which is where she talks about, she says their finances are separate and they asked, do you pay the mortgage? Which I told you guys that what they're talking about is the townhouse, the condo Jeff left her. And I said it was on the brink of foreclosure years ago. And so they're still paying it off. But she says, this was weird to me. She wants finances separate because she doesn't want a man to control her. Any money she has is from Jeff, the old man, who she's now using to support Slade. I mean, she came on the show as a kept sugar baby. That was the term. Now we know the term. She was a sugar baby. The house they live in was she won as a sugar baby. I mean, so just she keeps coming at these different angles, and none of them stick. Heather's not buying it. Emily's not buying it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when Heather asked point blank if he pays for anything and Gretchen gets uncomfortable, like Gretchen does, she tries to put it back on the woman as if they are being rude for asking these questions. And no, they're not
Yeah.
being rude for asking these questions, in all honesty. Like, I appreciate it when Heather was like, I thought that Gretchen's proposal was bullshit. I was like, it was, because it was.
Yeah.
You know, and Emily keeps asking the $1 million question that Noelle do. She's like, does Slade work? Like,
You never get a yes or a no from Gretchen. You always get a pivot and an excuse.
And even in the after show, it was, you know, with Tamra and Gina and Emily, it was like, oh, well, he had lost his money. Tamra cannot remember when the financial crisis happened. She was like 2005. And the other two are like, no, it's 2008.
Yeah.
And then she's like, he had 14 years. They're like 17 years, 17 years to give him that money back. But it's true. It's true. You know what? I called Jax Taylor a gold digger on the Valley. And I'm called Slade Smiley is a gold digger as well. That man is a gold digger.
Yes.
The man is lazy as fuck and does not want to work and will rely on it. Like, look, Heather, I mean, sorry. Oh, sorry, Heather. Gretchen may have been a sugar baby, like, but at least she works. At least she does work. Like, she's trying to create content, everything like that. But Slade is a lazy AF gold digger.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, literally with him, I mean, he's like, and how does she support herself, by the way? I still don't get that.
I don't.
We know he's just nothing coming from him. Her, obviously, there's some kind of financial situation. I just don't know. I mean, obviously now, we know, as she's currently on the show, you know, she's getting a friend of pay. She's not full-time, right? She's here as friend of.
No.
Okay, so
friend of,
figure she's getting anywhere from 10 to 15,000 episode. So that's, when you look at the length of the season, it adds up. That's a nice living. But this is the first time she's been on TV for a decade.
I have to think that Slade is getting a percentage of that as her manager. I'm not joking. I would not be surprised if he was her manager, because like on his LinkedIn, he's like, you know, it's Grayson Productions or whatever like that. I am sure that he is technically her manager. So he is making money off of her. And that's the thing, is that he may make money off of her, off of whatever like endorsement deals she does, brand deals, you know, any of that type of stuff. I mean, granted, this is all alleged. We're just supposing here. We're just like, from the things that we do know that happen. So, oh my gosh. Like,
yeah. How many? We could count how many episodes she'll be. Well, we'll know later at the end of the season, and I could kind of tally how much she made off of this year.
I mean, I guess she's probably gonna make more than Katie does. Poor thing.
Yeah.
See, and this is where I get mad. I go, why is she on here? And Katie should be on here. You know what I mean? I hope there maybe is some justice for Katie in the end.
Yeah, I mean, is this the last we see of her? Obviously the reunion, but
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, maybe if this shit comes out anyway.
Yeah.
We need to be patient.
Yeah.
And wait and see. This isn't Netflix where we get them all dropped at once, basically. So
I know we don't have the kind of leaks. Have you noticed something? This is a side note, but it applies to all housewives. They are tightening the leaks a little bit. And I would say in the last year, maybe 2 years, because it went from when Housewives started, social media was on, you did not reveal a single thing. It was, you had to watch. Then, as we know, the past decade or so, fans, social media, paparazzi, tabloids, we kind of know where the season's going, where it's like we're interacting with it as they're filming. But like, I have to say, I don't know what's coming later this season. Normally I could like have a little hint.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's the one good thing about like everything that's been happening this season. So.
Maybe, do you think maybe there's because of this, look, the blogger situation, we have New Jersey on hold possibly indefinitely. Orange County, they don't want to lose. It's still a flagship show-ish with the Katie and the Kiki and everything. Do you think maybe corporate's tightening the reins?
I mean, maybe, but they have to come down. But I mean, other creators and other podcasts have made the point that almost all of these housewives have their own podcasts though too, and are creators in their own right. So they have to watch themselves as well.
True.
So I don't necessarily think that Katie should be a sacrificial lamb for some stuff that has been happening on multiple franchises. And, but I also think that, like, to me, all roads lead back to Gretchen too. And for me, like,
I'm not blaming. This wasn't a blame Katie thing. I'm just thinking about the way that it's shifted. If like HR policy, whatever you'd call it, they're keeping it a little more secret. We still have mystery left in this season,
right? Well, but sometimes they sometimes make it like we've been seeing lately in certain things, and they sometimes make it. Companies will make a what's the word that's failing me right now? An example out of somebody, to try to scare everybody else.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I hope they don't do that out of Gina. I mean, not Gina, Katie. Oh my gosh. But I do agree. Maybe they are going to come down and be like, you cannot talk to these people. Yeah. We don't care if you think that you're friends with them. I don't care if you went to high school with them. You cannot talk to them about this type of stuff. I mean, look, we talk to housewives on a personal basis and we don't reveal jack shit.
Yeah.
And we could make a lot of money off of that. We could. That's why you guys should subscribe and follow us, please, because we, as corrupt as we are, we do not sell our souls to the devil.
Right. I will not screw with someone who could afford to have me murdered, buried alive in lawsuits, and buried in the backyard of their...
Exactly.
Not happening.
Exactly.
Too many fireplaces for me to be thrown in. But...
Well, let's finish this up real quick. Not real quick, but let's finish it up real quick. But going back to what Gretchen was doing, like when they're getting those massages, but Emily kind of goes hard on Gretchen, pointing out to her that Gretchen is doing the same thing to Tamra that Gretchen is accusing of Tamra doing to her. And Gretchen was like, I listened to it like 3 times and I kind of couldn't even follow Gretchen's logic of like Gretchen saying, well, it was on the internet. And, if it was on the internet, then like basically I have the right to bring it up. But she does. But she literally says, but it's the same thing. And Emily says, so then you and Tamra are the same. And Gretchen did not like that. But Gretchen even kind of, the way she was talking was she didn't realize that she was turning the gun back in on herself. Like, I was like, girl, again, you're a bad liar.
Yeah. I think she feels what she's doing here has some kind of, she's on a moral mission. She has some kind of moral superiority. So like, and so she's just as bad as Tamra, but no, it's different because she's doing it for a cause of exposing Tamra. She's lost. That's how obsessed Slade and Gretchen are with her. Like she would tell the judge, it's like you know what I mean? Like, I had to murder her. It's Tamra's fault. Like, just everything is Tamra's fault. Everything they do is justified because they need to feel better than Tamra. It's...
Yeah, they're crazy. Like, look, Tamra is bad. There's a lot of things that are Tamra's fault. But this, like, Slade's problems are not Tamra's fault.
Do you remember, was it last week's episode or the week before, where she tried to circle it back to now the reason Slade can't pay child support is because Tamra said he doesn't pay child support.
It's bullshit. Again.
Yeah.
Again. Like, if you cannot successfully fail upwards in America these days, like, as a white male, there's something else wrong with you.
Yeah.
Like, there's something else wrong. Again, you're lazy. You're lazy, Slade. You're lazy.
We should see as we should bring up. They should bring up. She needs to bring to the reunion a printout of his like Indeed.com
Yeah.
application
All the places-
history. Blank,
Look,
blank.
The job market is tough. I get it. But the job market has not been tough this entire 17 years. Like, you have applicable skills. And also, when the job market has been tough, I have literally gone out and had to go back to waiting tables.
Mhm.
Like, where there's a will, there's a way. Like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, Slade, and go work at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Like if we want to call out people for stuff, then I will quickly call out a middle-aged white man and say, go apply for whatever job. You know, there's a bunch of farmers that need help now in the Central Valley. Go up there. Like, come on. So anyway, speaking of food, while they're eating Shannon's breakfast outside in Temecula.
Like cauliflower frittatas or something.
I did not know what that breakfast was.
Yeah, that's why I was like, is she trying to push like a new cooking site? But we'll probably find out by the end of the season.
Right. Yeah.
This one was fun because earlier in the episode kind of kicks off with Heather revealing things about her dad, which we didn't know about. Now we get into Shannon talking about Gene the Machine Storms, and I didn't know. I thought they had this like cute codependent relationship. Like, apparently not.
Well, I mean, I do think it's interesting because, as far as I can remember, we've never really heard her talk about her mom. Like, really?
Didn't she? No. There was one episode where I think she went to visit her. Unless it was social media and the lines are blurring. She lives in Franklin, Tennessee, which is the nice part of Nashville. It's where like country singers and stuff live. She might live out there with her with Shannon's sister. God, what if none of this was ever published and I'm just revealing it like a creeper? No. I'm like,
you are.
No. I remember though. She's had her mom on, but not, her mom doesn't live here. Her mom lives in like Franklin, Nashville. But she had her on.
That. I don't remember. I mean, I remember like kind of going out because she was raised out kind of like out in like East County. You know what I mean? Like, and stuff. I don't
like
know. Anyway, we've seen.
No.
I mean, kind of. But we've seen Gene a lot more. I mean, I don't remember going to Tennessee, but
yeah,
who knows? I could have been drinking. That might have been when I still drank.
Oh.
But like, no, I'm with you. It was very interesting because like, so, because Jen asks Shannon what makes her go from 0 to 60 basically like so quickly, and Shannon admits to catastrophizing because of all like the chaos that she grows up in, and Tamara says that she remembers Shannon talking to her about that, which was very neutral and was fine, and I think, you know, is something that as a friend you would say, be like, oh yes, you've talked about this before. But then, you know, Shannon kind of goes into it a little bit more. And then when Tamra brings up Gene's drinking, which has not been brought up on camera before, that sets Shannon off, obviously. But instead of being like conciliatory and being like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you by doing that, Tamra's just defensive and puts it right back onto Shannon.
Yeah. Those two can't see that I think they know each other so well that they can't let their guard down. There's like when you don't know someone and you don't trust them, they both know each other so well that they know each other's moves, and that's why their guards are up.
Agreed. That's what it is. Like, because like I don't necessarily agree with Gina. Like I agreed with Jen when Jen was like I because Gina was like, I think she's just like trying to help. And I was like, no, I don't think she's trying to help. But I also feel like that there is that part of like, well, if you are friends and you've talked about stuff before, you will kind of be like, oh, well, that might just fly out of your mouth. But we've always said that Tamara's very calculating, whether it's conscious or subconscious. Like, so it can be a way of like being calculating there. But Shannon is also not going to take it very well because she's just one big wound. They're both these two big wounded people, and you can't like come at them at any way. They're not going to take it well from each other. So
I was like torn with where Tamra was coming from, because one, with the mentioning Gene the Machine's drinking, because on one I was like, thank you, I wanted to know this, so good, because Shannon does tend to paint a picture of like she was a debutante and this and that, and now we're like, yeah. But two is I was torn between both sides, because you had Gina saying no, she was trying to help, this is coming from her therapy experience, and then Jen Pedranti saying no, this was calculated, which honestly I give Jen credit. She read it like someone, like, I never thought she was that like bright, and the way she explained it, she was like, no, she can't address Shannon, so she's going to plant the seed through her father and establish a pattern of hereditary alcoholism. I was like, wow. But I think it's somewhere in between. I think Tamra, giving her the benefit of the doubt, only subconsciously, because that's who she is, planted the seed, like Jen said. I'm not saying she's pure, but I also think instead of trying to take Shannon down, she was trying to have a therapy off. Who's more changed? Who is putting more time in? Like, look, Shannon, I'm in therapy, like I'm trying to prove to you, so let me help you tell your story.
Yep. I would agree with that. There is definitely a trying to one up each other on therapy, because then Shannon's like, I did that trauma center and I was in therapy for like 8 hours a day. And it was like, okay, Shannon. Okay. But and she's like, and actually at the beginning, like Tam asked Shannon if she's in therapy. She's like, yeah, I go several times a week. I was like, oh girl.
Yeah.
There's also like a thing with therapy is that sometimes you actually get worse before you get better too. Like sometimes you actually go to like a nadir point before you actually start to come back up. I'm not saying that's what's going on with Shannon. I have no idea, but like,
it's hard with Shannon to take when she's saying she's doing well seriously, because it's usually the exact opposite. Fun Shannon, lighter Shannon, new Shannon.
I'm okay with being single, Shannon. And I'm just like, it's that like she's saying it, but she's not showing it per se. Like I'd rather you just show it than say it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's what we say a lot.
Jen Pedranti even hinted at she's kind of seeing the pattern, or the concerns about Shannon's drinking. She didn't say drinking, but she did say, I'm realizing she's at a home alone with Archie a lot, and it's easy to fall back into. So I think no one wants to confront it after last season, but I think maybe there's more than we're seeing on camera. I'm just putting that, just popped into my head right now, because maybe it will come out at the reunion or something. But I feel like if all these women, even Shannon's friends, are kind of like, Tamra's not all wrong.
Yeah. I do feel like, real quick, going back to Jean's drinking, that there was, maybe it was last season, Shannon admitted that there was always like alcohol in her house, like that drinking was always around. And I feel like she said something about like there was always those big red wine jugs, like that image is sticking in my head. So I could be wrong, but that was there. Like, so you had the impression that somebody in her house was an alcoholic, to be honest with you, or that it was just the 70s, which casual alcoholism was de rigueur, to be honest with you. So finding out that Jean had a problem with drinking, I'm not going to call him an alcoholic because I'm not going to diagnose.
I was wondering if there were a mystery. I was picturing, because he's an old school guy who's a businessman. He's from another. I was picturing him drinking and sleeping with the secretary.
That man was Don Draper. Like,
I totally.
He seems very Don Draper-esque, you know? So yeah, like it's not necessarily surprising.
Mhm.
It's just I could kind of get that Shannon would want, if she wanted that revealed on camera, that she would want to be the one to reveal it.
Yeah.
But Shannon, I mean, Shannon has control issues on so many levels too, and you know, as dealing with any type of like alcoholic, and I know this from like personal experience, it's just so hard to try to like thread that needle of like how to talk to them about things. It's very
Mhm.
hard. So Tamra's not wrong when she says, I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't, when it comes to Shannon. So that's when I just also kind of go, well, then maybe you just need to pipe down a little bit.
Mm.
And like Shannon said, like, give her time and maybe try to listen. Because I feel like at least Gina and Jen are trying to listen to her.
Yeah.
And if you listen, and Shannon, I think a lot of times thinks that she's not being heard.
Mm.
And that's when she gets very upset with people. And like, you will all know the truth. Like, because she
Like
feels
the
that people
David
aren't hearing what she-
Beador, her David Beador marriage, I think he just tuned her out completely.
Exactly. Which, I mean, I can see why.
Yeah.
There are things like, there's, you know what? Shannon Beador reminds me a lot of somebody in my own family. So I feel like that's why I have a lot of conflicted feelings about Shannon Beador. Why I really like her at times, and I also at the same time go, "Oh God," you know. So that's my own issues. But I think actually all of these housewives, there are certain housewives that we do recognize either in ourselves or in family members or friends. And that's what keeps us coming back to these television shows, or keeps us invested in them, because we see our own lives reflected in these women in some point.
Yeah.
So, no, not in Tamra.
Oh, one thing about Tamra and Shannon and Jean, I watched the after show, and I don't know if I don't know if Shannon's going to shut this down, or maybe it will be a talking point at the reunion. What Tamra says, remember in this scene when she's in the kitchen and Jen goes to ask her, were you coming from a good place? Or were you setting Shannon up? And Tamra goes, she's just mad I said it. I don't think she cares about her dad. And then in the meaning, like, cause she was like, you don't talk about my father, a 96-year-old. And I get that. But Tamra was like, that's not why she's upset. I don't think she cares. In the after show, Tamra said that Shannon and her father didn't have a relationship for years and years, and only recently started seeing each other again. Which is why I was kind of caught, because I thought they were this cute little like Dorothy and Sophia, like, or MJ, and you know, like, no.
Well, and Shannon said that on her part. She was like, yeah, I didn't have a good relationship with my dad. It's only been in the last few years. So it's again, it's a tightrope that you're walking, because I think it's just it's one of those things that with family, I think Tamara, like, I'm like, look, I bet there's a bunch of things that people could say about Tamara's mother that Tamara would blow her lid off of, yet they would be true. You know what I mean? So when it comes to family stuff, there's one thing about you saying like your truth about your family, but if somebody else says that same truth about your family, it can set you off about that.
Yeah. I'm not defending Tamra saying it. I just think it wasn't as cut and dry as.
Yeah. And I think to be like, I'm finally repairing my relationship with my father before he dies, you know, good on Shannon if she's doing that.
You know where my mind went with that. I was like, okay, well,
inheritance.
I was like, okay, she's swooping back in towards the end. I get it. Good. Best of luck, Shannon. Hopefully Jean has, because I do remember first time we saw him, he pulls up in a Rolls Royce. This was seasons and seasons ago, but that may have been a filming stunt. To be honest, I don't know if he drives at his age.
Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't.
Yeah. No, but I'm just wondering if he has Rolls Royce money, and that is why she's swooping in, or if it was just like a show.
Well, I do think that this is my opinion, and this is just allegedly, this is just my idea. I think that he paid off the money that she owed to John Jansen.
Yeah.
For that face.
I picked up on when she had that lunch and talked about it, and he was implying, I'll take care of it, just get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, you know how you guys could take care of us, get rid of our worries, but also get us closer to facelifts. And it doesn't cost you a dime.
It's gonna have to happen.
She'll take.
I'm using the retinol. It's helping. It's helping.
All you have to do is subscribe, follow, hype us up on YouTube.
If you're on your tablet or iPhone, you can do the hype button, and also tell your friends about us. Tell your enemies about us. Tell your therapists about us. Tell your financial planners. Tell your probate attorneys. Tell your Rolls Royce dealers. Tell anybody. Yeah,
tell the
don't tell Slade.
I was gonna say, tell the ex-boy bander who you may or may.
I'm sure he's getting blown up already.
I'm picturing that. I'm picturing that Nene gif. Like, why am I in this?
She's amazing. Yeah.
And
well, I think that's it.
Adios.